So first demo is a simple download to show how the connections are configured for this workflow. We start with the S3 feature service format, reading an ArcGIS Online feature service, and then exposing the ArcGIS feature service feature URL format attribute. In the next transformer, we list all the feature attachments and expose the attachments ID as well as the sum of the metadata that goes with uh, the download action item. I chose as an attribute option to store attachment because I want to create subfolders using the feature object ID. This is useful when you have attachment with the same file names and extensions. We can see from the Windows Explorer the results of this workflow. I create an attachment folder, and then each feature has its own folder name associated to the object ID. Right? So that's a simple workflow compared with the previous way of managing attachments in the past. Our second demo is we'll raise that bar a little higher to achieve the goal of making this workflow repeatable. Make it work with ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise with one web connection user parameter and with minimum configuration to pick a feature service. It is expected that the Workbench author has some knowledge of the hierarchy of the feature service portal item down to the feature attachment. This hierarchy is enforced in this workflow. Step one, during the runtime, we pick a web connection and list the user's content to filter the feature services. A single user parameter called SQWeb connection makes this solution very dynamic and allows easy configuration of all attachment connectors and HTTP callers downstream. I believe that's one of the questions I saw earlier in the chat. The result of this is a list of 91 feature services. And you can see in the slide how I configured this user parameter to accept the two web services templates that Shanna mentioned earlier, both using OAuth. And I'm just trying to show the preview of these choices for the default value for my user S3 web connection attribute. With that, we were able to run the next step and identify the feature service with layers that have property has attachment equal to true. Our list down is 13 feature services. So the next step would be to call the feature layer and table query attachment endpoints with the parameter return count only equal to true. This will identify the feature service with total counts uh, of attachment per service greater than one. So we're down to 9 feature services, and you show on the table all the feature services and the number of attachment they have. And from here, we will stop at the breakpoint to configure our tester to pick the feature service from which we will want to download our attachments from. In part two, the attachments will be downloaded in the familiar pattern I showed earlier. With this demo, you can rerun the workspace again to pick another connection and configure the tester to a new feature to select a new feature service to download attachments from. We will skip this download part because the user's end goal is to migrate to an AGE feature service, and we will see this in the next demo. Part one is to read the ArcGIS Online feature service and write to the destination enterprise feature service. We need to do this first to create the features to be linked to the attachments. We only read 5 features from the reader. Part two includes, once we have those features in our enterprise feature service, we can run part two. Part two involves reading the enterprise feature service created in part one, list and download the attachments for the ArcGIS Online feature service, join the features with your attachments using the global ID, using the feature joiner, uh, and then add the attachments to the destination feature service. As an option, an ArcGIS Attachment connector configured with delete action is added to the canvas to connect and run separately from the cache of download attachment transformer to minimize storage space and save credits. To demonstrate these results, I will use the RTS Enterprise Instant App Template Attachment Viewer to see the results of our migration. We see the 5 feature services as well as the attachments that we added earlier in our workflow.